Hello everybody, welcome back to Space Engineers. I gave Moeller lots of poopers. So our plan with him, hopefully, is not to have to come up here and dock. We can just have him poop, and hopefully we can poop fast enough, as fast as he can ore or mine. We'll have to check. So I don't know if this is enough. It might be too many, it might be not enough. We shall see. But basically we want to be able to eject ores as quickly as he's able to mine it. Therefore he won't kind of contain anything. He won't have to hold an inventory. Because his large cargo isn't going to hold much. And in fact he's probably... yeah, he's already full. His drills, maybe not. No, his drills are full too. And we can see a lot of it is stone. We are getting some iron, but a lot of it is stone. So stone is going to become a problem that we will address soon, I think. I have some plans for what the further look of the station and where we could put maybe some of the storage. Before we do that, however, though... wow, that was an interesting sentence. Before we do that, however, though... I want to try to move the pivot point today. And in fact... what? When? What? When did you... I just put you back. I knocked you off. I must have knocked him off again. I didn't realize. That's interesting. Oh, well, didn't go flying. I would like to rebuild him, I think. And give him a means of flight so that we could control him directly. Either with a cockpit or maybe just a remote block would be adequate. Probably doesn't need a cockpit. And we could do that, and then we could control the blueprint through the remote control using the hotkeys. Okay, so let's just disconnect him for a second. Okay, what I want to do, we have 8 steel plates. Okay, let's grab more than that. Are there any in here? Probably not. Probably got rid of them all. And now they're all going to go into some different inventory. Oh yeah, this was not the way to do that. Okay, so pivot points. Let's turn on the pivot points again. I have an idea. I don't know if it'll work. Okay, so we got that guy. Let's just do a little tiny experiment. So let's build another station above this one, but with a block apart. Okay, so we got 2 stations. Now we are going to connect them. What happens to the pivot points? Okay, they combined, and this one basically moved down here. Okay, so if we basically... now we can split them apart. And this guy does not get a new pivot point. His pivot point is still down there, is it not? It is. Okay, so let's get rid of him completely. Experimentation number 2. So that was the second one we... the second one we put down lost its pivot point to the other one. So before, this one lost its pivot point. So what if we make this one 2 blocks, and then when we join it, pivot point moved over there. Dog, what are you doing? Alright, so I think we can use that. It does appear to be whichever is the biggest grid will control what happens. My dog is destroying something. Okay, so what I'm going to do is get rid of all these steel plates that we don't really need. Not steel plates, but armor blocks. The more I get rid of, the less I'll have to place. But we're essentially going to create a fake station above this one that contains more blocks than it does. So let's just break it apart, get rid of all these. Don't really need them. And I think everything is connected regardless. Let's break you. So I think it's a good idea to get this done sooner rather than later. Because the more we work on the station, the bigger it's going to get. And the more we're going to have to create, more we're going to have to add on to. And I'm about to die. Don't want to die. Okay. So what do we have on us? 64 steel plates. So I think what we could do... let's just fly over here. Oops. I could also destroy stuff with him. Let's do that, shall we? So let's get rid of all these. I mean, most things aren't connected now, so not a big deal. Oop. This update is a little bit buggy, so I've crashed a bunch the other day when I was tweaking Molar. I think I kept crashing, so I kept losing stuff, and it's hard when you're working in the control panel. It's hard to remember what you've done, so when you crash and you try to go back to change it again, you kind of struggle. Okay, so that should be good. If we just get rid of those catwalks, that will... Is that still spinning? Yeah, let's turn that off. So we get rid of this. Okay. That'll break our med bay again, but that's okay. We could hook it back up in a second. Alright, so we have freestanding. Let's get rid of you. Alright, so we have this station, and it has a pivot point right there. Let's take a blueprint of it and find it. Large ship, perhaps? You under a small ship? There's our molars. Platform. Okay, there it is. Does it tell us number of blocks? 52. So what we're going to try to do is make a new station here with more than 52 blocks. So that's not actually too many. And we'll see if that'll work. What I kind of want to do, let's see here. I want to put the new pivot point kind of where I would like to have the projector block be when we're all said and done. So let me just back up here and try to visualize this station slash ship. So I think it's going to come out to about there. And this will be kind of this is the bottom floor. Let me level myself off. So that's the bottom floor. And we're going to have all refinement there. Then there's going to be another layer or level kind of at this level. Level at this level. And then there'll probably be an upper area, which will be probably the final height. So the top of the station will probably be at least another 20 blocks. So let's try that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ah! Okay. Somewhere around there. And then what we can do is try to aim between... Yeah, we could try to aim between where we think the bottom of it's going to be. And I do believe this is where the bottom will be. I think that'll give us enough room to do our crown molar stuff. Alright, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4. It's about 50. Okay? It's about 50. So, let's find the middle. Oh, painful. Let's estimate the middle. It's actually kind of where it is. Alright, so we'll put it... And then aesthetics-wise... Okay. Let's put it up here. Okay, above that. So we can get rid of all the... Well, we could leave that there, I guess. No, let's not. That might screw up when I try to join this to the other one, because we do have to place a whole bunch of blocks, but I want to make sure I get the pivot point in the right location. So at this location, we will have our projector block, and we'll probably have a little control room up here, maybe. And from there, we can control the blueprint. We could rotate it around if we want to. So if we finish doing this, we could load it up and then use a button panel or something to rotate things around. All right. So I have 56 blocks. Okay, so if I place all those blocks, we might be okay. No, because I added a whole bunch of blocks here. That's okay. Got a plan for that too. Don't worry about it. Don't you worry. Okay, so we'll go one block higher. And then we have to basically add all these blocks. Okay. Give me this one back. And now we will... Let's remove these. And then we'll place them back, but we'll build them from the top down. And then as soon as we... Hopefully, if all goes well... As soon as we connect to that cargo container, we should move this guy up to there. And this is more for just convenience, really. There's no real requirement of me doing this. The only benefit it's going to give us, as far as I can tell, is when we go to rotate the blueprint, we won't have to mess with the offsets. Okay. So I think... I mean, we could analyze it. Let's look up platform. Details. 64 blocks. Okay. Compared to our station, which was like 50-something. There might be slightly a different amount since I kind of removed some blocks, but... And... I still see this. And that is indeed connected, correct? Let's try breaking it. It might just not have updated. No. Unless that is not this pivot point. But whose pivot point would it be? There's Tort Wings. There's Chips. There's the build one. And molars I saw. Yeah. So why do we have two? Let's just try something. Let's take another blueprint. Platform that guy. He has a total of 369 blocks. How? If this one was 52 blocks, and this guy was 64 blocks, how do we now have 369 blocks? That does not make sense. And I still see this one, so I'm a little confused. Okay, I took another blueprint of this guy, and now he's saying he's 304 blocks. I don't see where those are, unless, like, a ship is attached. Is Chip attached? Chip is attached. I bet you that's what's wrong. Okay, let's just pull him away. Chip, you screwed things up. Alright, and now let's try again. So now let's just... So I think it was including Chip in the blueprint. Bam. I want you, sir, to disappear. He's back. I was like, it worked! He's back. Okay, we still have 2 pivot points for this one station. So now let's blueprint it again. And details, 117 blocks. So that sounds about right. But why do we have 2 pivot points? Not sure. Tried adding a whole bunch of other stuff up there. Still can't seem to get him to join. So we're going to try merge blocks. See if that'll work. Boop. I just figured it out. I'm an idiot. Guess what else we have floating around all these places? Look at this guy. He's a station. Guess where his pivot point is? Up there. All this stuff. Guess where their pivot point is? Right there. So we don't have to do any of this. It's already done. The pivot point we are seeing right there is not this guy's. It's all the other stuff floating around. I'm almost positive. I'm going to assume I'm correct and not even try to prove it. Alright, let me go grab. I'm pretty sure that's the case. I kind of want to grab Tortwing to break all that apart. Let's go ahead and do that. So if that is the case, what I should be able to do is just connect that stuff back up. Because that's going to be a smaller grid compared to what's there, I'm pretty sure. We could double check with the blueprint. And if it is, as soon as we attach it to the main station, it should all just shift. So let's give that a go. Ah! Okay, that didn't work. Apparently I was going too fast. You need a new arm. Oh, actually, this is a good opportunity to just do this. Projector. Blueprints. Some... Tortwing. Form of Tortwing. Okay. Where is your blueprint, sir? It is the wrong way. Aha! Alright, so now we can play around with it. Ooh, fancy. Okay. We want page 3. I have the ups and downs. Oh, wrong way. Good. Good. Now we want to go down. Good. Now I want to go forward. Bam! We did it! And now, if I had stuff, I should be able to place it at least. Brilliant. But now I need to go inside him. Okay. He can't build his own arm, unfortunately. I could use the welder on the station, but, oops, don't need that. I'll do it myself. I'm helping. I don't know what I need, though, so I'm just grabbing stuff. Alright, so here we see it. Pivot point's still there, even though I got rid of all that stuff. So I do believe it belongs to him. And let's go ahead. I'm pretty sure we can do this. There's no way this is more. So if we just do that and that, that should combine this one, but we still have it. And this guy is not connected, so we could connect him again, which will connect up the med bay and this part. So then we have, I think all this is connected. The only thing that isn't is this part. So let's just try getting rid of it. Probably just as easy, although I could have just placed a single block to connect it back up. Tough. Tough. Okay. Do we still have that odd pivot point? We don't. Success. We did it. Alright. Cool. So why don't we do let's try something now. Let's bring this back up here. Let's get to our pivot point. And let's actually place down a projector. Alright, so we're gonna match everything up, basically. So the plus is up, and the green's not all that important, but why don't we line that up too? I don't think it's important. That's just where it'll say the front is. So if we line this up like so, when it projects this blueprint of itself, it should line up, I think, exactly with itself. That's the plan. So let's do that. So then I wanted to work on Molar and get him going. So I think we'll have to do that next episode. We'll work on the gravity stuff. So we'll get that set up, and then we'll hopefully be able to get Molar going, and he can just mine on his own. And yeah, we could just collect until our inventory is full, and then we'll have to shut him down. Okay, I was out of some parts, like motors. Nope, it's done. It's done. Okay, so we don't have any way to do anything. Okay, so let's take a blueprint of this yet again. Okay. So many of these. Can I, like, select multiple at a time and delete them? No. Okay. I'll delete them later. So control panel, we want projector. Let's call this one station for now. We'll have to get a name for this ship, but anyway, we could leave that for now. And then we should be able to pick him, and he should project right on top of himself. Oh look, he still has that info. Is that... Let's see something. It doesn't seem to be correct, does it? I think I loaded the wrong blueprint. Let's try again. Projector. Station. Blueprint. That should be that one. That's the latest one we did, right? It still sees these ghost images, though. Like, that's the original thing we did. Okay. Let's try taking a blueprint yet again. Bam. And I don't know what it's naming it. Okay, 6415. 6415. I don't think this is the one then. And I'm not noticing what else is coming up. Okay, 138 has 2 and 57 has 2. Platform. Okay, it's this one. 57-3. We could probably solve this if we named the thing. Can you name something if it doesn't have a cockpit? We can, okay. Let's call it Mobile Base for now. M-Base. M's Mobile Base. Whatever, okay. Done. Alright, so now projector. Station. Blueprint. And I could take another blueprint with it, and it should show its proper name. Okay, so now it won't show that because I got rid of it, I think. But now if we get rid of that, it still doesn't work. Why are you not projecting what I want you to project? What am I missing? People? Am I missing something? Let me fiddle and see if I can get it to show up. I'm probably missing something obvious again. I think I know what's happening. I think I need to keep blueprint alive because it thinks it's done. So I did just remove a block and I did take another blueprint. So yeah, now it's doing it. So you can see the ghost image here because I got rid of this block. So it wasn't keeping the blueprint because as far as it was concerned, it was complete. So the structure matches the blueprint. So if I tick that, it will actually keep it. And then if I do put this back, it won't matter. Boink. So from there, let's... So I don't have anything set up yet for this. We'd need a remote control block maybe, or a cockpit that we could set up some of this stuff so that we could do it. But essentially now we should be able to... pitch... No, yeah. If I rotate 90 degrees, it should take our station and rotate it 90 degrees. So whatever we build over here, we could easily replicate on all the other sides. I think that is going to be very, very handy. And we could try to devise some way of building it like that too. Like maybe create... Instead of like flying around with a ship and welding this, maybe we could create a rotating arm on the station that will pivot around the middle, and maybe it can extend out and retract, and maybe it'll just be an arm that goes down and welds, but it'll weld kind of from the inside out, I guess. So maybe it would follow a path, I guess cubic in some nature, and it would just keep going through and scan and build, etc. So it would be a slow build over time. But maybe we could create some kind of mechanical crane type arm that would, yeah, rotate around the center and be able to recreate stuff like this for us. So that is awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, I like that. I am happy. Obviously, stuff like this we don't want to be built, so there'll be some instances like that where we wouldn't want to weld everything that we see. Okay, let's just go ahead and turn that guy off. And I think what we'll do is let's get Molar kind of set up to go, and we'll have to continue this the next episode. So I did some stuff off camera. I messed around with some of his sensors, and I don't remember what I did. I think I changed it so tilt up is actually operating a timer block now. So before I had it so the tilt up gyro was stronger than the tilt down. But I was messing around with doing maybe some docking assist as well, so I put on a few more sensors. And I thought we could make use of the tilt up and tilt down sensors again and use them for the docking. We still might be able to, but I'm thinking we might not even have to do the docking if we're just going to have him poop constantly. So for now we'll put the docking on hold, but I think that timer block's still okay. All this does, if we bring it up, so instead of that tilt up turning on a gyro, tilt up, and I created two. One's called in, so that's the one I use for in the field. And out is the one I use for out the field. So when this happens, he turns on the gyro for tilt up, he turns off the gyro for tilt down, and he also turns off the sensor block for tilt down. And then when he's done tilting up, he just turns off his gyro and he turns back on the sensor for tilt down, and that one should take care of itself. There are issues with the tilt down because he's set up kind of negatively or inversely. He doesn't automatically Like, if there's no asteroid in front of him and you turn him on, he doesn't start tilting down to try to find an asteroid. He just stays where he is. It's not until an asteroid enters and exits his field. We can kind of cheat it, I think. Oh, I don't know why that does that sometimes. Locks up. We can kind of cheat it, I believe, if when we tilt down, once he's already on, if you toggle this off and on again, I think that will trigger it, but it still might not in this case of the inverse. I think that would trigger the infield if there was something in the field. But anyway, other things I did, I gave him a little startup sequence, and I'll probably going to modify this, but startup, stage 1, stage 2, stage 3. So the purpose of this is going to be just to set him forward. So let's see what I got set up here. I'm actually going to take all those out. We are going to turn on the thrusters, we're going to turn on the drills, and then we're going to start stage 2. Stage 2 is basically going to start him up, I guess. Now, I'm not too familiar. Like, there's certain things you can do with timers, certain things you can't, I think. Like, I don't think you can change two things on the same sensor. Like, for instance, so tilt up. I couldn't go, like, increase top, and then also... Oops. And then also for tilt up, oh, that's tilt left. Also for tilt left, do like decrease left. It won't perform both of these tasks. I think it'll only perform one of them, and I'm not sure how it determines which one. So oftentimes I'm wary about putting the same thing in a timer, so that's why I might throw something in stage 3, even though it's not necessarily. So I want to turn off basically everything it was doing. I want to turn off its thrust. And then I think that's all we'll do. And then stage 3 will just turn on his sensors. And then those should just keep him going, I think. So turn on. Stage 4, I don't think we need. And that's kind of already there. Okay. So after that, he should just turn on and be ready to go. So what that means, let's see here. Remote. Control. We got his camera. So let's get him kind of set up. Actually, where we're going to want to do this is probably straight down. So let's kind of look this way. And let's remote back into Molar. Okay, so that should do it. Last thing I forgot to do. So on the startup sequence here, one of them set to... I didn't explain what's going to happen here. So all this is going to do is turn on those forward thrust. It's going to turn on the drills, and then it's going to start the countdown for stage 2. So this is start instead of like trigger now. So if you hit trigger now, it just does these events instantly, or the next game tick, or however that works. But start will start the timer. So this guy's set for 20 seconds. I think what we're actually going to do is make him mine in for about 50 seconds before turning on his system. And then when that one goes, it's going to turn off that forward thrust and then also trigger this one. And the only reason I'm separating this is because if those sensors are going to try to turn that back on, and there probably won't be a conflict. I didn't test it, but this should be on the safe side. And then it will instantly turn on the sensors. So this one isn't start. This one is trigger now, because I don't need a delay. I just need it to trigger. Okay, so what we should be able to do is start the timer, and I just emptied him so that he, whoops. What's going on here? Oh, I hit start instead of trigger. Okay, so let's exit him. I have noticed that the thrust override does not really work. Like, sometimes I have to go into him and just give him a little nudge. And then once I do that, he's good to go. So he should run for about 50 seconds. What I kind of want to see is how far in he gets. So he should be going relatively straight down into the asteroid core. And what I want to see, and he's not really heading straight into the asteroid core. I guess we should have tilted him a bit more. But that's okay. He doesn't need to get right in there. I just wanted to get far enough in that he's not likely to surface again while he's mining away. So I don't know how long or how far in he'll get given the time. But we can make him go forward a bit more afterwards. And once he's down here, what I would like to do... Oh, did he, Is he on? I think he just switched over. And again, he's not moving. So I don't know if that's a bug or not. But we should be able to tell if he's on if all these sensors are on, and they are. So what I think I'm going to do is stop him and start him again. And hopefully he'll go forward. Might need to give him a little nudge again. I'm hoping that's a bug. Is he going? You've wasted my time. And we can look in here and see that his cargo's already full. And his drills are now filling up and they're almost full. So it would be in our best interest to have him pooping. But what can you do? So that's not too bad. I probably want him to go in a bit further. Maybe twice this distance. Oh, you can see more ores are falling on the ground now. Is that probably because he's not able to pick them up? So those will eventually despawn. So what we could do is leave him here for now, and we'll continue this in the next episode. So let's just go ahead and stop him. So we'll leave these ores. And, oh, that's cool. And the first thing we'll do next episode is get the grav gen working and a collector set up. And then we can start hopefully sucking those ores out of there and up to the station. And then we're going to run into storage problems. So we'll look at expanding our storage. So like I said, I have some ideas on where we could put some storage now that I think will look okay. So we'll get around to laying that out hopefully soon too. Alright guys, thank you for watching. See you next time.